Hello. Welcome. Another week. We are well into December now, 2021. It is blowing my mind. I know it sounds really cliche, and I've said it before, but it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of us have said, I'm still processing 2019. I can't believe March 2020, and here we are just about to round out 2021. So lots of exciting things to look forward to in 2022. I'm excited for it. I think mostly ready, as much as one can be. I'm definitely excited for what's next in the world, in my family, in my business, and the things that are going on for my friends, which I'm really excited about in all of their lives, personally and professionally. Yeah, so I'm going to try to make today's short. Who knows? Watch me still be talking 50 minutes from now. But last week's was a little longer, and then next week's is a crossover event, which I am thrilled, elated, overjoyed with a good Judy of mine. We go way back. We used to work together at a rehab together. Um, and so she has a podcast and I have a podcast. So we're doing a crossover event and it's a little longer. So I'm going to try to make this one a little shorter on a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. And then also, too, I've been reading Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. I'm like 10 pages in and I was like, oh, I'm doing a podcast episode on that. So, yeah, so let's jump in. So one of her tenets that she talks about is her is actually the guidepost is number 10 is cultivate laughter, song, and dance, letting go of being cool, and quote, always in control. And I think that's something, well, before I jump into that, I think it's really interesting. I've had a number of clients who have said, because on my Psychology Today profile, on my website, when I talk about myself, I say, that I work alongside you and try to be solution focused and talk about your goals and how we can work together with your goals using those modalities and with a sense of humor. And I've had a number of clients be like, honestly, that's why I pulled the trigger on calling you, was because from all of this list of other people on, Psychology Today, or just people who've been given referrals, I like that you mentioned a sense of humor. It's like, you're not taking this too seriously. And it's like, well, yes, like your mental health and your growth are so serious, right? And that's not to be taken lightly. I think also, too, if we can't laugh at ourselves and we can't, I'm not going to laugh at you, just to clarify, but if we can't laugh at ourselves and make jokes together, it can be more difficult to get through some of these things. I think laughter can be very healing, and I definitely think laughter can be kind of our best portrayal of ourselves. Even if you're not a stand-up comedian, I would die on some sort of stand-up comedian show. I don't even know what I'd talk about. But just being able to laugh is important. So I really like, too, what she talks about, letting go of being cool, letting go of being concerned about seeming immature, which I think is definitely something that I've struggled with in the past, because I feel like I need to be on top of it. I need to be on my game. I need to be professional. And I definitely think there are some times in my past where I've reflected, I'm like, ooh, 23-year-old Meg could have been a lot more professional there. Like, yes, there is certainly a time and place for professionalism. And I mean, literally here I'm talking about something in my own profession, but I think that's possible to, in a professional setting, use laughter professionally. And then in a personal setting, let it go, let it fly, not worrying, like being our true, authentic selves and really enjoying that time. Letting go of being cool, right? So this is one of those things of all of the guideposts that Brene Brown talks about in The Gifts of Imperfection. This one's the kind of the physical one, right? So laugh, sing, dance, right? Those are things that can't really be done emotionally. Like, you can't really cultivate laughter, song, and dance if you're not, like, you can sit still and laugh, but you're still physically laughing, right? And then singing too, right? Like, singing and poorly. Ooh. Y'all, I can kind of carry a tune, but like not the good voice. Like, no, ma'am. But don't catch me not singing Celine Dion in the car, though. Okay. Sorry, Celine. I don't do you justice, but it's fun, right? And so, but it's a physical thing where you have to actually get up and do, right? Or actually have to do something to be able to get that done. So, yeah, I kind of thinking back to that immature piece, or not being so self-conscious. Like, my mom and I, anytime we would hear, like, ambient music in a store somewhere, we'll just bust out. Like, we will act a fool. We don't care. My brother would get so upset. He would turn around and walk away, or he would, like, try to read us a little bit, and then he'd be like, "You know what? You're not going to stop him leaving." because we were embarrassing him with our singing. But I just think that that's something that I enjoy from my mom always having instilled that in me of like, let's just have fun. Like, oh, we know this song. Let's sing it, you know? I think that's really, walking down the aisles of Costco and not intentionally humiliating my brother, but humiliating my brother as a result of us just being quirky and fun. Um, yeah, so it's interesting. So Brene says laughter. She says laughter, song, and dance create emotional and spiritual connection. They remind us of the one thing that truly matters when we are searching for comfort, celebration, inspiration, or healing. We are not alone. And again, that's like one of some of my more. I mean, could sit here and talk about my mom forever. I've talked about that on previous podcasts. So I can't wait to get her on one day, multiple sessions. But those fun and warm times that I have that I really enjoy the most, reflecting back on those memories, are the ones where we're just silly and goofy and having fun, and we're together, like we're doing something together and being ridiculous together, just being in the moment, and it's so wonderful. And I think that's what's really helpful, is talking about we're not alone, right? Like, think about when you go, generally speaking, not every ceremony, not every person is like this, but like in my experience, I'll say, and I think in a lot of people's experiences, like a wedding, right? Not everyone dances. Not everyone dances at weddings. Not everyone has music, but like a lot of people dance and sing and like, or like think about some of my favorite times. We used to have this neighborhood bar and grill, and they would do nights where they would do karaoke. And again, I cannot sing, but don't pretend like my husband and I got up singing some Huey Lewis together. I did The Lonely Island, Captain Jack Sparrow, and I did the Lonely Island part. Like, I'm rapping, and my friend Olay was doing the Michael Bolton piece. Like, it's actually on my personal YouTube if anybody wants to Google and try to find that. It's terrible, but it's like just what a fun thing, right? So like, that's spending time together, doing something silly, doing something fun. That is what's so much fun. And think about, that's how we celebrate. That's how we connect, is getting up and doing the dances and singing the songs, and certainly being able to laugh at each other, because again, we got a good laugh after I was pretending to be Andy Samberg. Good Lord. Anyway, so and it talks about like the fear of being perceived as awkward, goofy, silly, spastic, uncool. That's one, right? Uncool, out of control, immature. I talked about already. Stupid and foolish. Brene says the gremlins are constantly there to make sure that self-expression takes a back seat to self-protection and self-consciousness. And so it's like we're just trying to protect ourselves always, 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 always. How's that going to make me look? What are people going to think of that? Right? And instead of just being able to be in the moment and enjoying yourself authentically, we're self-editing constantly, this and that, taking this out. What am I going to do? And that takes away from our own individual times. They talk about like, laughing and just smiling can help improve your mood, right? And we're taking away those opportunities with like stifling an authentic moment of laughter and singing or whatever, by self-editing, just to make sure that we can protect ourselves and not look uncool or not look silly. So it's one of those things, like, what do we want to align with? I guess obviously I should say, like, there's a certain place and time for everything, right? But I don't know, but what do we want to align with? Do you want to align with fear, or do you want to align with life and connection? What do you want your time to be, right? I personally think connection is the way to go. I just love an opportunity. I'm just thinking back now, even talking about this, I obviously wrote the topic for today and kind of had my little outline here. And even as I'm talking more, just like these memories are just shooting. And I'm like, we were planning for our godson's birthday's at the end of the month, and we're going to be driving down to see him. And I'm thinking about his parents and the karaoke nights and the parties, and like just in their house, and we just like put on 90s rap, and we're all like, we know all the words and all the lyrics, and like it just, I'm thinking about that, and like look at my smile. Those of you who are on the YouTube now, those of you on the podcast are like, Meg, we can't see you, but like, believe me, I got my smile, I got my dimples out, because I'm just thinking about like all of these wonderful things, and that just makes me feel warm inside. I feel connected. I don't feel alone. And those are the kind of things that I think the more of those that you build, the more easily you can reflect upon them. And in those negative times, when you're working on thought stopping techniques and redirecting your negativity, or when you're feeling lonely or whatever those negative feelings are, you're having, you can say, like, oh, instead, I'm going to think about that time that I sang karaoke. I'm going to think about that time I danced at my friend's wedding and, oh, this is not, oh, no, it was. Okay, so my husband has split his pants twice now at weddings. One, I was like, well, this isn't my story because I wasn't there, but it's still something we always laugh at. He dropped it like it was hot to a Montel Jordan song at a friend's wedding, busted his little seersucker pants clean in two. This predates our relationship. But like, so many of his friends were dying to tell me the story. And I mean, like in a good natured ribbing kind of way, right? Like, not in a, I'm here to tell you how horrible he is and he's so stupid and you should be embarrassed, da da da. It's like, this is my good friend and I want you to know some stories about him because you seem cool and we see you all being together for a long time. You have to know the Montel Jordan story. And then it's funny because I had told my girlfriend who I'd lived with in Indianapolis, so we had all, that's where my husband and I met, and at her wedding, like we all made jokes and he dropped it like it was hot and he busted those dang pants. I can't remember the song in that one, but anyway, like I'm laughing talking right now. My eyes have little tears in them, and my girlfriend, I hope will listen to this and she's gonna be like, yeah, that was my wedding. I remember. We all remember, right? Yeah, and it's like foolish. I mean, of course, like we put a little something around his pants so his little tush wasn't hanging out. That don't do, indecent exposure over here. But yeah, just like such fun things. And like I said, just in the opportunities that we have to protect ourselves and make ourselves seem cool and with it and together and on top of it and just dignified, right? I think those are all overrated. Honestly, for sure. So another one of the Brene Brown quotes was, when we value being cool and in control over granting ourselves the freedom to unleash the passionate, goofy, heartfelt, and soulful expressions of who we are, we betray ourselves. And so, some of you might be listening and you're like, well, I gain my energy from being alone. I'm an introvert. That's the definition of an introvert. That's not fun to me. The idea of getting up on stage and doing karaoke in a crowded bar, I'd rather do literally almost anything else. And that's fine too. But then it's like, but what are some things? Where do you feel safe to be silly? Then what does that mean for you? For me, it means getting up on stage, and I'm an extrovert. I gain my energy from being around people. I don't have to know you. I will gain energy from being around you for the most part. I've had some of the best times singing karaoke on stage at our friend's bar and grill. Back in Houston, complete strangers singing in the same microphone. Of course, this is pre-COVID when you weren't 6 feet away from everybody, but absolutely. What does that mean for you then, though? So internalize this however that works for you. Because if singing a Shania Twain song in the middle of Costco is not the answer for you with you and your mom and how you like to bond, then you're probably not interested in that. But that's the same that goes with any coping skill or self-care technique is, if a bubble bath isn't going to work for you, then don't write that down as your list of things that you're going to try to do. So the same thing goes here. So yeah, it's like, I'd like to encourage everyone to just revivify your commitment to yourself. And I think in this one thing, in this one area, it's okay to not be cool. And again, in non-professional situations, don't like start busting a move in front of your, in your CEO's office and get yourself fired or whatever, have him think you're a crazy person. But, like if your boss says how much she loves Montel Jordan and you're like, oh, right. And that can be how you can get in closer with your boss, right? But other places, right, is when I'm saying commit to not betraying yourself. Get into, find your inner child, such a therapy term. Find your inner child and nourish that inner child. Think about the times when you were younger where you could just be awkward and goofy and silly and blah, blah. And no one and you didn't care what people thought and you didn't care about looking foolish. You just wanted to be happy and enjoy the moment, living. And that's what we're talking about now a lot too, that self-awareness piece with non-judgment, right? So yes, being self-aware, but not judging, and just be more concerned with being happy, right? There are plenty of people in this world who are trying to restrict everything else that's going on, telling you what you're not supposed to be doing, where you're not supposed to be, how you're supposed to like things, what you're not supposed to do, right? And I say this is not the opportunity for that. Laughter, song, and dance. That's what that's what today's topic is: laughter, song, and dance, and cultivating that within yourself, letting go of self-editing. And I think that's the goal. It's going to be a great week, y'all. I can't wait to hear from some of y'all. Let me know what topics you're interested in hearing about as well. Obviously, if things that are more important to you, that's great. I want to hear about them, and I will happily talk about them. Also, holler if you want to come on the podcast, because I love it when I have guests. All right, let's make it a great one.